Hello everyone, welcome to DC Comics. My name is Joshua Williamson. Last year we brought you DC All In and the birth of the Absolute Universe, and now we're here to talk to you about what's next. Scott, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so I'm Scott Snyder,
Yes.
and what's next is our big October event called DC KO. First, we just want to say thank you guys so much for the incredible year we've had at DC thanks to you. Thanks to fans, retailers, everybody out there that supported these books. The enthusiasm for what we've been doing has been really humbling and overwhelming to everybody at the company, and we really couldn't be more grateful. So our goal with DC KO is not only to kind of pay that forward, but to go even bigger, to really invite you in to DC Comics to have the best time of the year. The whole event at its core is, it's sort of a giant battle, knockdown, drag out fights between your favorite heroes, but not grimdark. This is not sort of
really fun.
It's really fun. The whole goal of it is, to bring you back to that kid joy of who would win, go back and forth.
That's exactly right. Like, we want to have that kind of energy that we liked when we were kids, where it was like to talk about this, like who would win between these fights and these characters, and we want to have some surprises. It's not only be the characters you're expecting. We're definitely gonna have some characters in there that you might not expect getting into this competition and being a part of this tournament. The artist who's joining us on DC KO is Javi Fernandez. We've both been really big fans of his for a long time, and so we're really excited for him to join us. We can't wait for you to see his pages.
Yes, he's doing an incredible job. Javi, we're really sorry there's so many characters in this event.
We're trying not to kill you.
Yes, but you're doing awesome.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
Yes. One of the funny things that Josh and I discovered, and it's been such a joy working with him over the last couple of years, was that we went back and talked about our favorite events. We've both done a bunch of events, over the years, and had a blast doing them. But what is an event at core? And for us, like, it is both kind of a celebration of where the line is at the moment.
This current moment for DC Comics. Like, every time there's an event, it speaks to this moment.
Yeah, it's a thesis about who we are at this moment, but it's also a big invitation to get people that don't necessarily read comics yet into the stores, to celebrate shops, to celebrate retailers. And so for us, with this one, the idea was to make something that felt like one of those like old school battle royale comics.
Yeah, DC's never done a big like who will win style story. And so for us, once we started talking about that, even though we've been working on this for a long time, and even before All In, like we were talking about Absolute, almost 6-7 years ago, this has always been part of that conversation of like, when were we gonna do this? And now with the success of All In and the way the story was going, we knew this was the time to do this. Like, we knew right now was the time to do KO.
Yeah, thanks to you guys, we get to do it.
Yeah.
We get to do like our kid fun event that we've wanted to do for, like, I thought 8-year-old me met 8-year-old you. This is the event we would want to do.
This is the thing we would be talking about even then, of like, because that conversation, we all have it. We go to the comic book store and we talk about who would win.
Yeah.
Right? And so we want to do a story about that and have fun with who would win. This last year, we've had a lot of really great energy, what we've been doing, and we should really keep that going. And so with this, we're talking a lot about what's been going on with Darkseid this last year, and how Darkseid has been growing and growing stronger with Omega energy.
Yeah, and so with All In, we began this kind of meta story that's spanning this whole period at DC for us. It's this saga that has, a few really big parts. All In was the first one, and what you saw was that Darkseid realizes he needs to become something bigger. And he does. With the birth of the Absolute Universe, he's absorbed so much Omega energy that he has become something beyond conception. He's become the King Omega, right? KO. And so the idea is he has kind of evolved into something unstoppable to the heroes. He's so full of this energy, Omega energy, which fuels him, which is the energy of endings, it's the energy of absorption, the energy of sort of singular, total control, that he's become something indomitable.
We did All In #1. Part of that story was that Darkseid realizing he needed to become something much more powerful and something bigger.
Yeah, and with KO, he does. Yeah. He's already become something far worse than he's ever been.
Yeah, it's really a crazy Darkseid story. I mean, we really get to see him like bursting, exploding with this energy, and how he has this really crazy plan to come over and really take over everything.
Yeah, and so Darkseid has evolved. He's become something that's really unbeatable for the heroes. And what KO is about at its core is the heroes realize the only way to beat him is to have a tournament to become him. So when he started that universe, the Absolute Universe, Darkseid killed every primordial being, every celestial being, and became something that was the totality of all power. And so what the heroes realize is if they can replicate that actual process here, one of them might be able to become as powerful as Darkseid. And so what they have to do is they have to start this cosmic tournament in which they have to gather enough Omega energy to become the King Omega KO, such as he is, before he gets here and destroys everything. So this tournament is all about, the only way that you get Omega energy is to be merciless.
You know, when we did Metal, like Metal was very much a Batman story.
Yes.
And then when we did Death Metal, it was very much a Wonder Woman story. And now we're doing this one, there was only one option. And right now we're in the middle of summer. Superman is a very big year for Superman, so we knew this was going to be a Superman story.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm really proud to get to write it and plot it with one of the best Superman writers in history, in my opinion, Josh Williamson. So, and I haven't gotten to write Clark in quite a few years, so it was a real joy to come back to him. And the reason that we wanted to focus on Clark, the only way to win is to become the thing you hate.
The idea that you have to become something dark to like save the light, to save the day, and how that's a real test for some of these characters. And I think for Superman to have to confront that part of himself, to be like, can I push myself to these new limits to save everybody else? And it is something that all the characters sort of go through. It isn't just him. Like there's a lot of really great character moments, but it is very much a Superman story.
And the key is whoever wins, whoever makes it to sort of the heart of Apocalypse at the center of the tournament and becomes the King Omega and becomes this like hundreds of foot tall celestial hero that can then fight Darkseid, gets to restore everything on the other side once they beat him. If they can beat him, you can put everything back the way it was. So the question of the event is it worth it? Is it worth it to become the thing you hate, even if it means that on the other side, if you win, you can restore sort of the principles that you thought were correct. And ultimately, like, you know, Superman is the one that would say no. Superman is the one that would say, you know, we have just to find a better, tougher, you know, wilder way to fight and not become the thing we hate.
Yeah, and you know, what's funny is that even though Superman is really confronting this and trying to decide if it's worth this, there are other characters who are like, game on.
Oh yeah.
Let's do this. Like we're gonna get in there. And I think that's one of the really fun parts about this was talking about which characters were gonna be in this fight and then start having those conversations, but not just like, you know, it wasn't just us smashing toys together. It really was a conversation of like, what does it mean for some of these characters to be confronted with this and go through it? You know, so it's been really fun working together, working with DC Editorial, talking to other creators about what did we want to see in a story like this, like which kind of characters. And so, you know, at the beginning of the tournament, it's everybody.
It's everybody. It's every DC hero.
Everybody.
So...
Each level is a new stage and a new challenge for the heroes.
Yeah, don't give too much away.
I mean, we want to talk about what happens at the ending where comes in and he takes
See? Look at this weeping.
Yeah, you got to see when tries to enter the tournament, he runs in.
That's what I know.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
The editors got really mad at us because they were like, how are you going to make go down like that? I was like, sorry, dude. It's just like,
and then,
you know?
Yeah, it's really fun. But
what
it's
we
very,
really,
fun.
Yes, but we want to stress also, it is not a gore fest. It is not like some R-rated event. I mean, it's a little gory, but
a little bloody. It's a leg
yes,
little bit.
But when you die in the tournament, you're out. You turn into kind of a statue.
Yeah.
You're put on a shelf, almost like, and you lose. You can't become the King Omega. Whoever is the champion, the whole universe bends towards them, so they become this giant celestial being. If Batman wins, the universe is sort of Batman colored all the way to Batman, and who becomes the Bat God who will fight. If Superman wins, it's this. If Ambush Bug wins, it'd be whatever. So you don't know who's going to win.
I hope Ambush Bug wins.
We'll have to see.
Yeah,
but
have to see.
So ultimately, like it's everyone is trying their best, because what the Heart of Apocalypse does is if you show mercy, if you act in a way that is compassionate or any of that stuff, the energy levels, the Omega energy goes down. The only way to fill this machine enough to the point that you can get the kind of Omega energy that Darkseid has is to be merciless, to go all the way, go all the way,
they have to fight.
bonkers.
They have to really fight, and they have to really push themselves. And there's no mercy here. They have to show they can really be like Darkseid to take control of this Heart of Apocalypse. And so for some characters, they embrace it, and some characters reject it, and it's a real challenge for them in interesting new ways. So as you can see, we're really, really excited about this, and we can't wait to tell you more about it at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, we'll see you there.